This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately. What's going on, freaks? Well, I guess we'll see if the goals and everything worked tonight. Worked over there on the day shift. Let's see. I want to make sure. Hold on. Yeah, so I think it was still Mom and She 13 at the end of the show. The last time. So we'll see if that works. So we're first day of a new month. And you see the goal at the top of the screen there, and we've got the Super Freak. I think it's working now. I think the Streamlabs deal works too. I don't really know 100%, but yeah, I think it works. So, let's see. Got a lot of crazy stuff. In the John Forsyth case, I'm waiting to do a... I tried to interview him, but he said he had these really tight windows, and, I didn't, I'm not sitting there staring at Facebook like, oh, is he gonna write back? So I don't know, when that will be, if it'll be at all. I don't really have any idea. I mean, that case is sort of interesting. The information that's been put out there makes you sort of think it's more likely a suicide in some ways. That's just from if things that were said were true, because things that the brother have said in articles and on other YouTube places is that he told his brother. Oh, there. Well, there's two of them? What's going on? Oh, yeah, turn that one off. There we go. There was an extra one sitting there. Yeah, he told his brother just recently how much he loved him. Well, I don't know if it is or not. I'm just saying, listen to this stuff that I'm going to tell you. He told his brother how much he loved him and everything, okay? Then he, let's see. Actually wrote it down so I have all the different things here. Just a second. And I don't need people to type stuff in the chat, okay? I've got it. So he told his brother how much he loved him and that he was great, and he doesn't normally ever say that kind of stuff. Then he also bought his mother and him, the brother, a very expensive gifts, like really crazy expensive. It sounded like lavish, right? And then 2 days before he went missing, he signed over the power of attorney to that company to his brother, okay? And then there's also another story that the brother told that that John was one time said he was abducted and he was zip tied, but he wouldn't tell anybody what all occurred because he didn't want to put anybody else in danger. Okay, so those are kind of interesting things, but I'm not. They're almost too weird for me. Some of this stuff. Okay, but if you were going to take that and let's say it's all real, let's say it's all true, then that would point more to him doing something to himself. But then you still got the white van. I guess it pulled into the parking lot right where he was. So they communicated. Then that van drives away, and then he's still sitting there walking around. Then apparently he goes back That's one part that was never clarified. Did he go back to his car and take off, or did he just walk away from his car and then somehow his car miraculously got placed over there? All right, so there you go. That's the update. I'm not going to... I don't want to spend all day talking about it again. But just some of the, you know... I'm not even going to say what I think. Okay? It's not my thoughts. Not my place here for this case currently the way it stands. I can't really say. So there you go. I think the information, if true, so look at it like that. If that's true, then possibly it's a suicide, right? Oh, it looked like it did work. Okay, so the stream goal worked, and Mama She 13 got some taken away. All right. And because they were there together, Zozo. So, what do you mean let him sign it over? I don't get it. It signed over to him, the brother. The brother is the one that got it signed over to. I don't understand what that means. I don't get it. Side tab emojis. Yeah, well, there's things that don't make a lot of sense. Yeah, we were talking about that last night. I mean, well, he didn't know that, though, Zozo. Remember? He got it signed over 2 days before without him knowing that it was signed over. And then he found out about it after the fact, he says, right? But also, you know, he went 27 miles or so to go kill himself. Why not just sort of around there somewhere? I don't get it. So some of the stuff doesn't make sense. You know, him being moved, you know, his body appearing 27 miles away in a lake, and then his car being right up there at the park where he left it in the town where he works. So there you go. But anyways, if you guys like to help support the channel on a nightly basis, we raise funds on here so that allows me to keep doing the shows. And then, as you could see, last month I gave away $6,000 out of the money from the channel, and it helps, you know, you guys are help supporting me, and we kick ass out there in the world, all right? So, you know, like when we're doing the Jodi Arias trial, it seems like everybody's, you know, paying attention and, you know, trying to get us to the goals. I'm not sure what's going on in the evening shows lately. Let's see. My dad was planning to kill himself. He was going to drive to a place far away and do it, kind of hoping we wouldn't find him. My dad was planning to kill himself. He was going to drive to a place far away and do it, kind of hoping. Right, but he was going to drive there. How did he get to where he went? Did he take a bus? Because his car was in that park. Yeah. And the fiance, you know, I mean, it'd be great to hear from her. I don't know what the deal was. It sounds like they were really happy and so forth, but who knows how it really was. We also know that if she dies, if he died, then the ex-wife doesn't get the $19,000 a month because, well, there's nobody to earn the money. That makes sense. Well, thanks, man, forever. I would like it. Like, I mean, I appreciate. I feel so fortunate to have you know, everybody supporting the channel, but it'd be cool if, like, it was more spread out with other people too. I always feel like, you know, people see others and they go, yeah. Hey, thanks, Bama, forever. You're always so kind. Danielle, thank you very much.
Making a difference.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's some crazy one because Bama Forever, you know, she told me a couple of these stories from her past, just in emails, just because I was like, oh, well, let me hear them. And then one of them was one of the stories today. So I'm going to do that one in a little bit. Got some other updates, though. Thanks, Kami. Why not? I don't know. Why? I don't know, Claire. I don't know what the deal is. Why shoot himself, I guess? Where did he get the gun? Did he have a gun? You know, there sounds like there was a lot of sort of stuff going on regarding, you know, crypto. Like, people didn't like what they were doing because they were sort of... I didn't really even understand it when I was listening, to be honest. Didn't understand it one bit. So... maybe we'll get an explanation sometime. I was supposed to interview him today, but I guess he was on Fox News or something, and then he was going to be out, and then there's just this little tiny window, and I just, you know, I'm not going to sit there and stare at the screen, my Facebook page, hoping. All right. So where are we at here? This thing here is ludicrous, you guys. This, whatever this is, I don't know. This is almost like out of a horror movie. Mom of 12-year-old who fatally stabbed brother stands by her daughter despite horrific attack. The mother of the Oklahoma girl fatally stabbed her younger brother to death earlier this year, in a demonic rage, said the preteen never had behavioral issues in the past and blamed the attack on effects of medication. Heartbroken mother April Lida, shared an update about the family this week after her 12-year-old daughter, whose name has not been shared publicly, stabbed her brother Xander 9 in the chest on January 5th at the family home in Tulsa, St. Thomas Square neighborhood. The siblings loved each other and always got along until the very end, she wrote on a GoFundMe page. They never physically hurt each other on purpose. That's just wasn't the, who they were, she added, noting that her daughter never had behavioral issues before the attack. So this is the kid that was stabbed to death. This is the mom, and this is the girl right here. Probably a little bit younger, obviously. I'm just going to go down to... this looks like something right out of a horror movie. Watch this.
I'm so sorry.
Come here.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
We're just going to put handcuffs on just for now.
I'm sorry.
So this is Law and Crime got the footage.
Where's the knife?
Sorry, Dad. I'm sorry. I don't know what just happened. I'm so sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. Please.
And that's like the mom over there going, "You killed him."
So sorry.
I mean, this is ridiculous.
You better pray to God he fucking I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
How old are you?
I'm 12 years old.
Where's the knife?
I always loved it.
I like this officer. He was like, "How old are you? Where's the knife?" You know, just kind of casually getting.
My room and I threw it out the window.
She was in her room and threw it out the window. Yeah, so that apartment complex in Oklahoma is right here. And you can't really see it, but it's that building right there. Right around the corner here.
Behind the apartment right here.
There's a brick on the wall.
You threw it where?
I threw it out my window upstairs.
Right
not
up
right there. It's the room. It's the other room. It's right behind the apartment. This apartment right here.
So where would the knife be? On that side?
Right behind. Yeah. I'm so fucking sorry, Mama. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. This is some demonic shit. I'm so sorry.
What's your mom's name? What's your mom's name?
Let's not blame it on drugs. I think she's just a psycho.
I gotta go with him. I'm
Another
so
Jody
sorry.
Arias in the making.
I don't know what the happened. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
Come over here so we're out of the... Hey, how would I get to the knife? Is there the backside?
I can show you.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He's dying. I don't know what happened.
Is there anybody else inside the house?
Looks like they're kind of working.
No, it's just me, my mom, and my brother. He's dying.
Hey, how would I get to the knife? Is there the backside?
I can show you.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Hey, this is crazy.
Is it just those? Those look old. Are they old? Wait, we can see the cut that you have. Take your hood off for me.
Sounds like Alec Murdoch at this point.
Is it just those?
I've been up to it now.
Those look old. Are they old?
This
Oh,
one
those.
and this
Yeah,
one.
those.
By the way, she's out and about, just walking around at home.
Those are a little.
This one, those are old with like.
Do you have any
the
new?
one that's brand new. This is brand
That's
new.
from today.
Yes. And it's so fucking
With the
good.
same knife.
Yes.
Okay. Can you watch her for just a second?
Whatever happens, just be calm, okay? I don't know what happened tonight.
So sorry.
We'll figure it out. I have to go be with your brother. Make sure he's okay.
I don't know what the fuck I did. I'm so sorry. I love you.
Parker, take her to my car. Okay.
Yeah.
What you did?
I don't know what happened. Will I be in jail?
What was that?
Will I be in jail?
Well, of course.
Right now, let's just, calm down a little, okay? I don't know what we're gonna do right now, alright?
Wasn't at school for
Oh yeah, they always have mental issues
Yesterday
when they
was
do
his
something
first
like
day
that.
back.
In the hospital
Instead of just
right
being
now,
a psycho.
little lady. Yeah.
Will he live?
Pretty sure he will.
I'm just skipping it
Killed a lot
around.
of people.
It's kind of long. I don't really want to.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Now take some of this. Go ahead and turn your hands over. Let's go from there. And we'll just hang out in here for now, okay? Well, we're going to talk to your mom first, and then we'll talk to Officer John.
Okay, and I'll send you his information. And all right, give me 1 second. Roger. I'll call you right back here in about
I
5
think he
minutes.
told her that he was doing okay, but he wasn't. Just to get so she could answer questions.
All right.
I'm screaming. Like the worst scream ever. And I thought maybe he was having a nightmare, so I started trying to wake him up, and there's blood everywhere. And he said, she stabbed me. She stabbed me. I was like, no. And he started going in and out of consciousness. And so that's when they told me to put him on the floor, do chest compressions. And I couldn't find my daughter anywhere. I was screaming her name, and she ran out after she did it because she was scared. And
That's crazy.
I wish I would have said no. Side, yeah.
So real quick, I know that I'm probably the last person you want to talk to right now. But so what we need is a search waiver for the apartment, so we can go through, have our crime scene detectives go through and do a thorough investigation of this. So you don't have to authorize us to do this, but I mean it would really aid in our investigation of trying to figure out everything that's going on.
We know what happened. My daughter says she got a knife and stabbed him 3 times.
Well, we need to find the knife and we
Yeah.
need to do all that.
Can I be there?
Uh,
I just don't know. I don't have anyone there right now.
Well, there's nothing. It's not like, I mean, if there's any, like, we're not looking for any, like, I'm not saying, I'm just saying, like
I know,
drugs
I'm
or
not worried
anything
about that.
illegal.
I'm just,
It's not for that.
I just don't. Yeah, it's fine. I'll want to sign it. I just. I just don't have anyone that can be there right now.
Well, and that's the thing, there won't.
It was in her room.
Okay, well, so that's the thing. We can't just.
Yeah. Anyways, absolutely crazy. This is they actually have a GoFundMe here. It says, after a horrific, unexpected tragedy. You mean your daughter murdering your son? A few weeks ago, we saw a need to start a fund for our very close family friend. Many of you have asked if a fund would be started, and we can help. Those of you who know her are aware of what an amazing, strong mother. I mean, she might be a good mom and all that stuff, and the kid just went nuts, but the loss of her 9-year-old son to her 12-year-old daughter has left his mother and their family completely devastated and confused. We're still trying to figure out why this happened. Her daughter was a well-behaved child with no prior history of behavior problems. Her son Xander was the sweetest boy who had the biggest smile. He loved to ride his bike, play Fortnite, hang out with his best friend, or just run errands with his mom. He loved spending time with his dad and grandma, going on trips with the family, and his favorite places was Sky Zone. Anyways, it's just shitty. So that's actually, you can see a picture of her in that one. And there too. So Xander lit his sister 12 stabs, 9-year-old brother to death, but avoids jail as girl's mother, April Litta, defends daughter and blames medications. It's some demonic shit. A 12-year-old Oklahoma girl who stabbed her 9-year-old brother to death earlier this year is likely to avoid spending any time under a unique state law that spares children under the age of 13 of being charged as adults. The girl is instead likely to spend a few years in juvenile facility before being released home. On January 5th, she stabbed her brother Xander. I don't know why I didn't hear of this. I've never heard of this, and it happened in January. 3 times in their home in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Their mother, April, was in the home and came rushing into her son's room to screams, where she came upon blood seeping through the 9-year-old boy's bed sheets. He had been trying to sleep when his sister came downstairs and attacked him. Jesus. The girl, sobbing and shrieking, ran out of the home screaming, "I'm so sorry." So I think this girl's psycho. I mean, there wasn't even any sort of an argument or something. This is just, hey, I'm going to go downstairs and stab my brother. That's crazy. I don't really give a shit what medication or anything anybody's doing here. The details of her case are under seal. So many of the specifics of her remain unknown, but her mother has claimed online that see, this is just a claim somebody's making to try to make it sound better. Under Oklahoma law, a child aged 13 or older can be charged as an adult for a crime like murder. It's unclear how far away the girl was from her 13th birthday, but had the attack happened after it, she would have faced 5 years in juvenile facility and the rest of her life in an adult prison. Because she's so young, the court process is drastically different. Anyways, that's sick. Everybody always wants to have a little answer and kind of package it up in a neat little box instead of just realizing that there are psychos. You know, like that kid, how old was he? 15, the one that we had on here, or not on the show, but we covered the case where he took that girl to like the pond and stabbed her 120 something times and whatever it was, and didn't, that's just who that guy was, And guess what, man? Girls are like that too. It's weird. I know. It's strange. Yeah, Eden Fucci, I like it. Alright, now we're going to do an update on Matthew Nilo. The serial rapist. So, newly engaged. He was just engaged. That poor guy, yeah. 35, suspected of raping 4 women while he was a student in Boston 15 years ago. After offering them a ride, will be extradited to Massachusetts after FBI lured him out of his luxury apartment. A newly engaged attorney who was suspected of raping 4 women while he was a student in Boston has agreed to be extradited back to Massachusetts after the FBI arrested him outside his luxury New Jersey apartment. Matthew Nilo, 35, of Weehawken, New Jersey, was seen in a Hudson County courtroom after his arrest on Tuesday over alleged attacks on 4 victims in the Terminal Street area of the Charleston neighborhood in Boston in 2007 and 2008. The cyber attorney, I guess he's a cyber attorney, has been, I mean, what a weird, makes you wonder what else he was doing then, has been charged with aggravated rape, 2 counts of kidnapping, 1 count of assault with intent to rape, and 1 count of indecent assault and battery. On Thursday, he waived his extradition after making an initial appearance in a New Jersey courtroom. Who will be brought back to Boston, where he used to live in the North End District, to be arraigned in Suffolk Superior Court. Police said all 4 attacks have been connected through DNA, which was identified through genealogy database 23andMe. Really, they can't do that. That's bullshit. It can't be. They don't get 23andMe does not allow that kind of stuff. It says after they voluntarily sent samples. I guess in that case you could. They send samples in, and somebody putting together a tree could use those, I guess, and see if they connect in. But yeah, they're not for use for law enforcement. Thanks, Kim Wallace. I thought the stream goal was broken or invisible. Hello, all from Mass. First timer here. Thank you for your content. Well, thank you. Nilo was nabbed by the FBI and cops outside his swanky apartment on Harbor Boulevard, where he lives with his fiancée, after he was called down to the front desk of his residence and told that a large package had been delivered to him that did not fit in his facility locker where the residents picked up packages. That's a good little trick there. Yeah, he had a lot of other time out there to be doing something. We covered this yesterday, too. After he came downstairs, he was taken into custody and waived his Miranda rights before his 4 alleged victims were notified, according to the Boston Globe. The Sexual Assault Kit Initiative, a federal program designed to help process a backlog of rape kits, was used in the investigation after the Boston Police Department reached out in October. Federal program designed to help process backlog of rape kits was used in the investigation. So they actually went and they did the backlog of rape kits. We've actually donated to that last year anyways. So they were testing rape kits probably in an area and went, whoa, look at these 3. So I guess it's possible that there's multiple more kits out there that would match him. And like my friend Ada said, they just haven't reached those kits yet. By April, Nilo had been identified as a suspect, according to FBI Special Agent Joseph Bonavolante. The agent told a press conference the 4 victims had been waiting years to learn the identity of the alleged assailant. Thanks, Mike. Mike S. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. No, I'm gonna be sneezing. Yeah, it's weird, Cindy. It's weird, it's strange, because the night was always so good, and now the daytime thing's taken over or something. I don't know. It's just pretty odd. Who the hell knows, right? I watch this type of content all the time, and since YouTube last update, now when I hit live tab, all my interest content shows that. That's how. Well, you actually found this channel. Normally I'm not one of the ones suggested because I don't do the sensationalistic stuff on this channel. I just do the discover cases, and here's how it works though. The more people that watch the sensationalistic channels and are really interested in and comment, then YouTube recommends those people. Right? So it's kind of a miracle when my channel gets recommended, to be honest with you. Right? So, whoa, what happened? Yeah, look at all the numbers are gone off the screen over here. What's going on? Hold on, let me check something out. That sounds like Chloe. Is Chloe outside? Oh, hold on, I gotta go check on that. It looks like we lost all of our numbers. I'll have to go watch the stream and repopulate that. But anyways, currently this year we've donated $25,850 from the income from the channel, and we have a DNA fund that we built up that has. We've put over $60,000 into that. We've funded 10 cases so far, and we've got 2 more that we're doing. So that's why I do these shows every single night, raising funds for the channel and to be able to send the money in at the end of the month. Well, I'm in jail, so let's see what happens over here. Oh, here it is. Okay. Maybe that's what it was. I didn't even realize it. You know what, you guys? I've been in jail so many times that I didn't even realize I was in prison right there. That's pretty bad, I have to admit. Man, that's bad. That's why I didn't have the other numbers on there. Yeah, so 152,600 since January 2020, and 22,000 in January 2020, 42 in 2021, 62,250 in 2022, and this year so far 23,350, and we're not even through the 6 month. We're not even at the halfway point, is what I'm trying to get at. I was wrongfully convicted. Sarah Beth Coladras. I always like saying that name. But anyways, welcome to anybody new here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to... Just a second.
Gray was wrongfully convicted this time.
All right, this will be my contribution for the night. There we go. All right, so we got 5 new members here. Salty, Non-Such, Kate, Tim Howells, not Linda Moulden Howell, but Tim, Liz Marie. Hopefully none of these are trolls. And was that it? And Liz Marie, Serenity by Jan, Tim Howells, Kate, and Salty Non-Such. There you go. God, I just ate something that went weird. Welcome. Oh, Kim Walsh. Well, thank you for buying one. I was giving some away anyways. But. Travelin' Teresa. Thank you. Yeah, so this is this guy, man, who knows how many people this psycho is sexually assaulted over the years. I showed you almost all these pictures last night. It was on his Facebook page. I made sure whenever there's a crime that happens, you almost have to go right to their Facebook page and start downloading as much stuff as possible, because almost every time things just start disappearing almost immediately. Strangely. Thank you so much, Traveling Teresa. So where's the dancing? Where am I? I want to see the dancing taco. You think it missed it? If it did, I'll go run it randomly. Hold on. I don't want you not to get your avocado dance, so hold on. Variations. Okay, this is for you. I'm doing this randomly. There we go. That's what you should have had on the screen. Hey, thanks, Eugenie. Put myself in jail again. Man.
This is a test super chat alert for $30.
This must not. There it is. Yeah. Should be on this one. Alright. Thank you guys. Sorry about that. I think the screen that I was on didn't have the taco stomp for you, Traveling Teresa, but I did one off to the side for you. I did it for you, just didn't say your name on it. Just for you, Traveling Teresa. Alright. We like the taco stomp. Circa then, around that time. Yeah, I'll be over there circa then. Yeah. Hey, when are you coming over? Circa then. You know. Thank you. Alright. Sexual Assault Kit Initiative Federal Program. I mean, what about the fiancé is thinking in this case? Man. Now look at this jackass. I think he's pissing right in a dorm room here. I mean, right on the floor. Oh, you can't see it. Sorry. Look at this one right here. He's just pissing on the floor. Yep. Yep, I realized you couldn't see. I looked at the monitor. Today's arrest is the direct result of the FBI use of investigative genetic genealogy, a unique method used to generate new leads in unsolved sex assaults. Yeah, so like places like GEDmatch, sexual assaults and murders are okay, but if it's just an assault, like somebody punches somebody and leaves blood, they won't do those for some reason. So anyways, genetic genealogy, the way it works is you identify a DNA, in criminal cases, you identify the suspect's DNA and you put it into CODIS. Once it's in CODIS, that's just where it is. That's where it lives. And then, now that there's forensic genetic genealogy, that's the first thing you do, though, is put it into CODIS. You take the sequence and you give it to a forensic genetic genealogist, and they will upload it to GEDmatch using bioinformatics, a software program that uploads it to GEDmatch in the same format that if you were on 23andMe and Ancestry and had an account on there and you downloaded your raw data and then uploaded to GEDmatch, bioinformatics imitates that. So you don't have to use 23andMe because you have to have spit and upload it and do all this different stuff. And what bioinformatics does is it takes the sequence and formats it exactly the same as a raw data kit from 23andMe and Ancestry, and then you upload it to this public database called GEDmatch, and there's another one called I think Family Tree DNA. So they go on there, and once the DNA, the raw data is uploaded, they find the highest matches on the list and work down. So you start with the highest match and you build out a tree, and then you build out other relatives, and then you try to find where the like the two sides of the father and mother's family intersect, and then you work back down and find the perpetrator. Once the perpetrator is identified, it's called a lead. So the genealogist identifies somebody and gives a lead to the detectives. Then the detectives either surreptitiously, that's usually how they do it, collect a DNA sample from the suspect, or like in a case like this, it sounds like there were some holes in the DNA, so they had to have, the trees, so they had to have family members upload, and then they were able to specifically identify that he's the likely suspect. And then once he was arrested, they collect his DNA from his person. But like I was saying before, they'll collect the DNA surreptitiously from a garbage can or something that he threw out and compare it to CODIS. And if it matches, then you get the a warrant to be able to take his DNA from him with a swab. Then you take the swab and then you compare it to the CODIS and the suspect DNA, and that's where you get the match, and boom, it's game over. Okay? So that's how it works. Hopefully that was a decent explanation right there. Hey, thanks, Cindy. You are a super freak. Okay. In addition, since the revelation, his employer, Cowbell Cyber, whom he started working for in January, have suspended him. Yeah, I went to his work website and his picture isn't up there. The insurance company told DailyMail.com Matthew Nilo was an employee of Cowbell and was hired in January after passing our background check. Mr. Nilo's employee at Cowbell has been suspended pending further investigation. Well, he's done. I wonder what they'll do, though. You know, like when he gets to court and he gets in there and they're going to go, yeah, I've changed a lot. Look what I've done over the years. And, I've just been a really good guy. And I just hope everybody, cuts me a break. And weren't we all weird and wild when we were young, he'll say. Yeah, at the time of his 2008 arrest, he was listed as living on Commercial Street and worked as a cashier at a bagel shop. So he lived right in that area. He had been arrested after being pulled over for a defective headlight on January 12, 2008, and an officer noticed a bag and a smell of marijuana in the car. Several photos posted to Nilo's Facebook page. We know what's amazing about this guy? Is even after he assaulted the first 3 women, and there was an article saying that they've been linked by DNA, he did it again. 3 months later, he did it again. That just shows an absolute, almost like a cockiness to it. Just ridiculous. He saw the article, of course. Now, several photos posted to Nilo's Facebook page at the time showed him living a life full of parties and drinking with his friends. According to Nilo's LinkedIn profile, before he started at Cowbell, he was an associate at Etheria Law in New York for 3 years after working for Clyde and Company in San Francisco. So Ada, my buddy, she lives in San Francisco, and she was just kind of wondering, during that time when he was over there, did he do anything? The same kind of thing. This is 2012, right? Like, he studied for a doctorate at the University of San Francisco School of Law from 2012 until 2015. So, are there any sexual assaults that happened on that campus or around that campus between 2012 and 2015? He got a degree in psychology from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Yeah, that was before that. So he went there for a law degree. So he's not a dummy, but he sure is dumb. He acted, I don't know what you call it. It's hard to graduate from law school and be a complete imbecile. You know what I mean? Although I've seen some pretty stupid lawyers out there, I gotta be honest. Nilo was studying at the latter college when the alleged crimes took place. Right, so when he was at I guess he got a degree at University of Wisconsin-Madison in 2010. It says Nilo was studying at the latter, so he was going there. So was he just at home for the summer or something like that? You know what's interesting about that, actually? And if you go back to yesterday, I thought the dates looked odd, but I think you can almost time it up to summer break and winter break. And maybe while he would go home after studying at school and go home and, maybe work during the summer. I don't know, man. Unless there's another school there in Boston, like what do you call those? A remote learning or something? Yeah, let me see. Yeah, that was yesterday, right? Oh, there it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is the article I found in the Boston Globe. So let's read this again now. Maybe it makes more sense here. So this is him. Okay, there was other rapes around in the area. This one 100% is him. Everything matches up. So this is 2008, September 4th. Police link 3 sexual assaults through DNA testing. Police have linked 3 sexual assaults through DNA testing, indicating a rapist could be on the prowl in the downtown area of Charleston areas. So down here it says, in the first rape on August 8th, summertime, 2007, right? A woman was in the area of Stewart Street in the early morning hours when she accepted a ride. Now look at this other one. This is like around Thanksgiving. So it's a break, right? I don't know if I'm just guessing here. Because if he went to Wisconsin, but this happened in Boston, and he lived in Boston, then maybe that's just where he went to school, and then he would come home on breaks. Because look at that, November 22nd, another woman said she was raped in Charleston. Then, let's see. Yeah, there was one August 8th, November 27th, or 2007, and then it says, then last month, this is September, so I guess that would make it August again. So it's summer again, right? And then guess what? The next one was in December of 2008. So you have August, November, and December. Isn't that exactly when you would go home on breaks? So I'm just saying that as it's possible that is what he was doing when he was home on breaks. Yeah, I uploaded mine to GEDmatch 3 years ago, too. So if anybody has a DNA profile, make sure to upload it to GEDmatch if you are using 23andMe or Ancestry. Oh, yeah, I don't have the bots. Hold on a second. It should be in a minute or so. What do you mean? I didn't see him? I just said you're the one. Oh, maybe I didn't say it out loud, but I put you in. I was in the middle of speaking, but thanks, Daryl Montgomery. I have you on the list over here, so I didn't miss it. Gotta get Gray out the super freak position. He is no super freak. Yeah, why am I up there? Anyways. and he disses me. Yeah, I'm not even there anyways. So there you go. It's circa then should be on there. I had to refresh the thing. Anyways, thank you there. Let me see what you said on the other one. Oh yeah, let's make it a 100-foot wave. All right. No, it's working now. I had to update sometimes you have to refresh this thing. I'm not sure why, but I think it works now. All right. So what do you guys think about that theory? Do you think he's home on breaks, or is he at some satellite school there? It just seems like the timing of it, it can't be coincidental. 2 in August, 1 in November, the other December. Almost like winter break. You know how you're off for like 3 months? Yeah, they're like breaks. He's home. And then, yeah, so this one was September 4th, 2008 was the article, but the assault happened in August here. And then in one of the newer articles about the case, it talks about how there was one in December that same year. So even after this article came out right here, even after this article came out, he's still raped again, even knowing that it was in here. Now, I guess it's possible he went back to school, this is September 4th, and missed this article, and then when he came back in December, did it again. You know, he didn't ask, hey, Mom, was there an article about some rapes? You know, he's not going to do that. And back then, you know, how would you find a newspaper that happened in September? Isn't September about when you go back to college? You know, for a fall term? Pretty much. Man, this just lines up so perfectly for that. So in September, he goes back to college. And then on winter break, he does it again when he's back home, knowing that he can go back to Wisconsin to the safety of his environment. I guarantee it, that's what he was doing. And then one of them was on Thanksgiving break. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, maybe like the end of August. But, you know, like right around that time, right? See, these are August 8th, right? It's not August 8th. It's late August. It was when fall term, you would go back to college, right? And that one's August 8th, and I believe the other one, we actually have the dates here in these other... One of these, let me see where it listed the dates. It wasn't that one. Okay, August 18th, 2007, November 22nd, 2007, August 5th, 2008, and December 23rd, just before Christmas. So they're all holidays. This isn't here, though, but that you're on summer break. You're just about to take off. What a perfect time to commit it in his mind, right? So he's like, August, okay, I'm about ready to go back to school. I'll be safe, away. Nobody's going to find me. Boom, you go back there. This one here is Thanksgiving, and this one right here is Christmas. I mean, that is, I mean, okay. Do you think there's any really good odds that that isn't the way it is? I mean, do you think that I think it's very low odds that that isn't what is going on here. Because there's too much of it. 4 is a good sample. As a matter of fact, just 2 years in a row, August, November, August, December. And then, what did he do after that? Maybe he did get wind of it. Who knows, man. And then he transfers all the way over. Look at what he did, too, you guys. So in 2008, he was getting nervous. So then he goes to law school all the way across the country. I don't think you can get further away, almost, other than San Diego, from Boston to San Francisco. That's like 3,000 miles away. He's over there. He goes to school. Maybe he was totally, quote, clean over there. And then after he was done, he's like, shit, nobody's come around yet, And then he starts putting his head back out there and heads back to the place that he lives on the other side of the country. I think I just totally, absolutely profiled that case. And I'm not even a profiler. Pretty crazy. Well, we'll just keep following this around. I mean, every time there's an update on this, I'm going to go over it. I think these are really interesting. I think they're right up there. These guys are just one step away from serial killers. Just one step away. I mean, they're violently, sexually assaulting women and You know, serial killers often go to the stage of killing to actually to protect themselves from being identified, too. So this guy here, he just didn't do that. But had he kept going, there might have been a time where he felt it necessary. One girl, I think, escaped him at one point. Ran away, got away. Okay, well, anyways, that is it for the update on that. Unfortunately, I'd love to hear from his fiancée, though. He didn't do it, man. I know him. I know him really well. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. I swear to God. Well, were you there? Well, no, but I... Okay, forget it. All right, now we're going to do the crazy case. Well, it's not really crazy. This is a case that happened back in 1980, and it was Bama Forever actually has like a little a memory from it. She saw the body and everything. Yeah, I think he may have turned into that Ada or not. We don't know. I mean, if he only had that one period of time, who knows if that's just when he would have stopped. But he also could have graduated. He would be somebody absolutely under the radar. Nobody would even notice him because he looks, he's probably a decent looking guy. Nobody would be able to determine that he was some crazy rapist in the evening. Especially if he was married, had a decent job. A little bit like that captain, the Canadian guy. I think he was a captain. Serial killer. He dressed up like a woman. I always forget it. All right, what's his name? Russell something or other. Yeah, he's that guy started killing people later. But you notice how he just sort of fit right into society. Nobody thought one thing. Anything else other than that. Anyways, this is the Bama Forever story, but it's kind of a longer one, but I just got kind of really interested in it when I was looking at it. And I even got the location, I think, correct anyways. Yeah, it's in Ohio, I think, if I remember right. Yeah. So right around in this area right here. And this is what Bama Forever wrote. I think I can just put it on the screen. So it just says, this one I don't remember very clearly. I was 10 or 11. My older brothers, can't remember if it was all three brothers or not. I could have just been one of them, wanted to hang out with the neighbor boys, and I wanted to as well, but of course they didn't want their little sister around. Our neighborhood had a lot of boys and maybe 5 girls that liked to play with dolls and dress up. They hated sports, and my life was all about sports. I mean, there's so many girls like that. I mean, that's for the ones that are awesome at like softball and volleyball and all the sports, Anyway, my brothers took off with a bunch of other boys, and I knew I could follow them if I kept my distance. The boys wanted to play in the drainage ditches. I've been there a few times, so I knew the area. I was sitting back in a smaller drainage because I knew the bigger boys wouldn't fit, and I was just watching. It seemed that it didn't last long until one of the boys started screaming. Not a I'm having fun scream, but I'm scared to death scream. I heard another boy yell, "She is dead, get back away from her." I don't know how long they stayed there, but they took off running to call the cops. I think a couple boys stayed behind, but stood away from the ditch. From where I was, I couldn't see the girl, but I was in line with the drainage. So I snuck out of where I was and headed down the drainage. Remember, I was young, curious, and dumb. I walked up to this body. I don't remember if she was fully clothed. Her face was bad. She had dirt all over her. It was hard to believe she was real. I remember kneeling down and staring at her. I think I might have been trying to wish her alive. I remember telling her I was sorry. I didn't know the girl. I just felt so bad. I heard one of the boys yell, "The cops are coming." So I got up and ran through the thick brush so no one could know I was there. I ran all the way home, never telling a soul what I saw until like my 30s. They caught her killer. I believe his name is Peter Ankney, and her name was Marie Castanien. I think she was 15. This happened in Defiance, Ohio, maybe a little over a mile from my home. Well, didn't your brothers, you seem like your brothers would want to talk about it, unless they didn't see anything, you know. Alright, so I'm going to go back in time here. So, believe it or not, the newspaper archives had these really good articles on it. So, it takes a little longer to load up than the other one, but eventually it loads up. Yeah. So here it is. This is it right here. And there's drainage ditches. So let me show you. If you go, this map doesn't work very well, this one. But if you go back to the one from like 1995. Yeah, 1995. Like this. And this is the one this is, the body was found in drainage pipes for Preston Run here. And, it gave me a pin of Preston Run back here, so I followed Preston Run all the way up into the town here. And you can see how it has these culverts that go under each of these roads and then eventually drains out into the, I guess, Maumee River or Mommy River, or however you pronounce it. And my guess was this spot right here, mainly because the side that they're on, the water is flowing towards the river, the main river over there. So when you look at that, you see the water coming out of the pipes, right? So that means that it's going to probably be on this side, I would think. And so if you go down to this one, actually a street view on it, and you go here, and you look over here, and I don't know, but maybe some of those trees, this is 40 something years later, but maybe some of these trees are these trees and they're down below down there. You can't really see exactly, but it could be down there. That's what my guess was. And then Bama Forever sent me an email that stated that same street that she remembers it off of. So, I guess it could be off of this side, but I don't think so, though. It might be, though, And maybe the water is flowing the other direction, but for me it looks like it's going that way. Are you guys interested in this one? Oops. So she must have been inside this third pipe right here. It looks like there's some of those same kids that you were talking about sitting up at the top right here. Alright, the partially clad body of Marie Castanien, 16, was discovered Friday afternoon lying face up in about a foot of swirling muddy water inside a huge culvert on Defiance East Side. Today, Defiance police are searching for clues to explain her death. They suspect homicide. Miss Castanien of 710 Nicholas Street, and that is... So she lived over here. I don't know what she was... I think she was probably abducted and dumped in the culvert, actually. Because it seems like it would be really odd for a girl to just be like randomly walking way over here and captured. Even a boy or a girl is just kind of, usually you don't cross the big bridges. Right? Let's see. Miss Castanien of 710 Nicholas Street was found at 2:30 p.m. Friday by 5 young teenagers playing in a deep ravine. See that? She even mentioned the 5 people. As 2 of the boys walked through the 6-foot-high concrete culvert, one of 3 draining Preston Run Creek beneath the street. Oh, wait, let's see. One of 3 draining Preston Run Creek beneath the street. Doesn't say though. They saw the body in the water 18 feet from the culvert north mouth. So that is the north side. Okay, got that. The boys ran to a nearby home and phoned police. Officers arrived and began, like, would you guys, when you were younger, would you just walk through it like a tunnel? Officers arrived and began scouring the brush-covered ravine and surrounded area for clues. The south opening of the culvert was sandbagged to divert the creek flow and allow officers to investigate it. Others removed the dead girl from the culvert, and city firefighters transported her body to Defiance Hospital. There were no visible wounds to indicate the cause of death, nor was there an immediate indication of where the girl died. The boys who found the body told police they had played in the ravine on Wednesday. Isn't that weird? Because Bama Forever's right there, like hiding from the people that were playing, and had looked in the... What made you not tell anybody, though? You didn't want them to know that you followed, or what? Who found the body told police they had played in the ravine on Wednesday and had looked inside to an adjoining culvert, but not one in which she lay. The boy... Let's see. But not the one in which she lay. One boy said his companion saw the body first. Let's see. Gotta go to page 12. There it is. Yeah, you probably would have been in trouble. This is page 12 here. Yeah. Right here. He thought it was a dummy at first, and I went up and touched it, and I said, "That's no dummy. That's a real person. Oh my gosh, what are we going to do?" Both ran out of the culvert, he said, and up the steep hillside to a ravine, up a hillside to Ravine Street. Oh wait, let's see. Let's see if I got it right or not. Where's Ravine Street? Maybe it's on the side or something. Oh yeah, there you go. So I think I've just nailed it. I mean, it's either this one or this one, but Ravine Street goes like this. So they ran up this hillside to Ravine Street right here. So let's see if you go here and... Yeah, so maybe just down there, you know. Ravine Street, home to phone police. A small girl, approximately 5 feet 4 inches and 90 pounds, Miss Castanien, was an 8th grader at Defiance Junior High School. She reportedly left her home on Monday evening and had not been seen by her mother since. Sources said she stayed with a friend at least one night. Her body was taken Friday evening to Toledo's Medical College of Ohio Hospital, where an autopsy was to be performed today by the Lucas County coroner. Meanwhile, police began questioning her known acquaintances on Friday night. Defiance County Sheriff's officers assisted police at the scene. Although officers would not say so, there was no doubt that they suspect the death is a homicide. If so, it would be the city's first since 1975. She was born April 8, 1964. the daughter of William and Marjorie Castanien. Survivors include her mother and father. Oh, so they didn't have another child. Ooh, jeez. That's bad. Thanks, Cindy Leon. All right. We are 65%. Not too bad, not too bad. All right, shut that one down. So that was on April 12th, that one. She went missing like a week prior to that. And this one's on the 14th. That's actually a picture of her right there on the left. Joe Castanian there. Well, right here. A 19-year-old city man has been arrested for the slaying of a Defiance teenager, Peter Ankney of 724.5 Summit Street. So at the time, that was right here. So he lives right in the area. And let's see what happens. Yeah, so there is a house right there. I just don't know. Let's see if we take a look at it. So that was probably the same house. You know, that looks like that's been here for, that's probably 1940s or 30s or shit like that. So 724, so maybe they rented a room in there. Or maybe, you know, I guess it's possible there was another one here. But that's where he lived at the time. And this is, I mean, literally the distance from here to there. It's not even a half mile. 0.41 miles as a crow flies right to where she was found. He appeared in Defiance Municipal Court at 9:30 a.m. today. His initial appearance was continued to 9:30 a.m. Wednesday, and Judge John Wynn Sr. ordered him held in the county jail without bond. Attorney James Borland and Stephen Snavely, both of Defiance, were appointed co-defense counselors. Castanian was apparently strangled and beaten on April 7th. Her body was found Friday afternoon in a drainage culvert under Columbus Avenue. Well, there you go. Is that it? Ah. All right, so now there's no doubt, everybody, that it was right there and ran up here. You know, in that one you can almost see maybe that there's more shadows right there from the other culverts that maybe they're a little lower or something. So there you go. It's in one of the articles. We now have the definitive answer. Yeah, it must be weird, Bama. I bet it is. Yeah. The felony was formally filed against Ankney at 7:30 p.m. Saturday, 29 hours after the body was discovered. One of several friends of the dead girl picked up for questioning on Friday. He had been held in the county jail since. One of several friends of the dead girl picked up. The felony was formally... So he's one of the friends, huh? Sources said that Ankney dated Castanian's sister while the victim's boyfriend was one of his two roommates. Wow. Let's see. Sources said that Ankney dated Castanian's sister while the victim's boyfriend was one of his two roommates. Wow. According to police, Ankney's car was found parked on Magnolia Drive by a patrolling city officer at 11:53 p.m. on Friday. Checking it, the patrolman and a police detective found Ankney inside. He was taken to the police station and held for violating an 11 p.m. curfew while on probation from a previous felony conviction. Officers questioned the young sandy-haired man that night, and again on Saturday, late Saturday afternoon, he reportedly gave a statement. So Magnolia Drive is just right over here. His car was parked. Wow, why were the cops on that little random side street right there? According to police, Anki picked up the girl at her home on the evening of April 7th and drove her to his Summit Street apartment where he allegedly hit and strangled her. He then allegedly placed her in his car, drove to the wooded area near Columbus Avenue, and beat her several times in the head and neck with a pronged instrument. Jeez. Afterward, he allegedly placed her body in one of 3 huge concrete culverts draining Preston Run Creek under Columbus Avenue. Man, if I'd read that, but it wouldn't have been as fun to find it that way. The stab wounds located under the victim's hair were not visible when she was discovered. Wow, so he stabbed her in the head a bunch of times. Oh, that's look at that right there. That's Mount St. Helens. I was looking at that going, yeah, that's right around that time. Man, that was crazy. I think that's Mount Shasta right there, maybe. Police are still awaiting results of an autopsy performed Saturday at Toledo's Medical College of Ohio Hospital. Let me see what's on page... Page 14, column 1. Oh, this is page 14. Already. Yeah, you're like quite a bit younger, right? At least 5-6 years younger. Anyways, I'm going to move on to the next article. You'll see a picture of this guy pretty soon. These are newspapers.com. A Defiance man is being held on aggravated murder charge in the death of Marie Castanien, 16, of Defiance. Her body was found in a culvert Friday. Defiance police arrested Peter H. Ankney, not sure how to say that, probably Ankney, 19, of Defiance, on aggravated murder. Police said there was no visible wounds on the partially clad body. Joe Marie, an 8th grader student at Defiance Junior High School, had been missing since April 7th. Yeah, I'm going to go to this other newspaper archive here. That site's pretty cool. I didn't realize. I think I've been using it wrong for so long. So there he is right there. Looks younger than that almost. Strangulation has been pegged as the cause of death in last week's slaying of Joe Marie Castanien. An official of the Lucas County Coroner's Office made the ruling Monday based on the autopsy performed Saturday. The ruling amends the charge that city police will seek against Peter Ankney, 19, of 724.5 Summit Street, the man accused of slaying the Defiance 8th grader. Defiance County, strangling almost always is going to be first-degree murder because it takes 3 minutes. That means it wasn't a sudden act of rage. It was, you sat there and purposely killed somebody. Defiance County Prosecutor Peter Seibel said today that he will take the case before a county grand jury on charges of murder. They considered seeking an indictment for aggravated murder. Under Ohio law, aggravated murder involves prior planning, legally termed prior calculation or design. Conviction for aggravated murder carries a life prison sentence. Based on the coroner's report, the facts involved in the crime and the evidence police possess, said Seibel, we do not feel at this time that he schemed the murder in advance. Really? But he picked her up and then, the girl's partially clothed body was found in a drainage culvert on Defiance East Side on Friday. I'm just going to go through in time, and then you start going through these. Ooh, there goes my stomach. I knew it was going to. A motion to dismiss a murder charge against Peter Ankney, 19, of Defiance was heard in Defiance County Common Pleas Court on Monday. The motion filed by Ankney's defense attorney, Stephen Snavely, contends that he was illegally arrested by Defiance police. Yeah. Well, you're not... Okay. That's not... you're not saying he didn't do it. Didn't work, by the way. Yeah, now it's slated. The trial of Defiance Man for the murder of a city teenager is scheduled for September 15th. Peter Ankney, 19, appeared in Defiance County Common Pleas Court on Thursday afternoon for a brief pretrial hearing. So they set the trial for September 15th. Then on September 13th, he pled guilty. So there he is right there. But then after that, he tries to reverse what he pled. It's ridiculous. The case of Defiance Man, charged with the April slaying of a city teenager, ended Friday in Defiance County Common Pleas Court. Peter Ankney, 19, pleaded guilty to the murder of Joe Marie Castanien, 15, of 710 Nicholas Street. Judge Charles Bakel Sr. sentenced him to 15 years to life imprisonment in the Ohio Reformatory at Mansfield. Under state penal law, Ankney is eligible for parole in 3 years and 2 months. The plea came 3 days before the scheduled start of Ankney's trial on a murder charge filed by city police. Yet it was not expected after a defense motion to suppress his confession was overruled. Friday 35, suppress it, okay. Friday 35-minute session began at 1:42 p.m. The short, stocky defendant, dressed in a brown and white shirt, unbuttoned to the chest, and white jeans, his sandy-colored hair neatly cut and combed, sat silently beside defense attorney Stephen Snavely. He was outwardly calm. As Bakel opened the hearing, the judge said he had been advised that Ankney wished to withdraw a previous not guilty plea and now plead guilty to the charge. Bakel then asked Ankney a series of questions. Do you understand that the charge that has been lodged against you, that you purposely caused the death of Joe Marie Castanien? Yes, Your Honor, said Ankney quietly. As the judge continued to question, do you understand that the court has no discretion in sentencing you, and that I have no way of granting probation, that you will so this might actually give, I want to see what they say, that you will remain in prison until the parole board says you will be paroled. And finally, do you feel it is in your best interest to enter a plea of guilty to the charges in the indictment? Asked Bakel. Thank you, Texas Annie. And yes, you too. If you'd like to help support the channel out there, it'd be absolutely fantastic. Trying to reach the goals up there, trying to have another good month here to keep on trucking. Got two DNA cases to fund, and well, the funding comes out of the income from the channel. So thank you. And finally, do you feel it is in your best interest to enter a plea of guilty to the charges in the indictment? Replied Ankney, yes, I do. The young man was still calm as County Prosecutor Peter Seibel recounted a confession version of the murder. Seibel said Ankney picked up Miss Castanien at her North Side home on the evening of April 7th, a day before her 16th birthday, and drove her across the city to a Summit Street apartment he shared with her boyfriend. Miss Castanien, angry with Ankney's roommate, wanted to return clothing that he had left at her home. So this is like a spat with her boyfriend then. At the apartment, Seibel continued the two had sexual intercourse on the floor. Afterwards, Ankney told her that she would make a good prostitute. I bet you that's total bullshit that he raped her and that's when he killed her. That's exactly, and that's why he's trying to explain why his semen would be inside her, because he's saying, oh, we just had sex. Oh, and then he's making up the story. I'm just guessing that the next part will be about how the violence arose after that. Afterwards, Ankney told her that she would make a good prostitute and asked if she would like to work for him. Bullshit. But she became angry and kicked him. Enraged, he struck her in the face, fracturing her jaw. Yeah, that's not going to happen. What do you mean? What you said? What you are reading right now? Oh, okay. Well, I'm just reading it because I already had all this from earlier in the day. At the apartment, Seibel continued. The two had sexual intercourse on the floor. Yeah, we already went through that. When the girl screamed out, Ankney grabbed her with his hands and put them around her throat. Then he picked up a shoelace and put it around her throat and strangled her. Ankney carried the dead girl to his car, the prosecutor said, and drove her to a nearby ravine. As he pulled the body from the car, he thought her legs moved. Grabbing a pronged steel plate from inside the car dashboard, he struck her repeatedly in the head and neck. Then he carried the body down into the weed-filled ravine and laid it at the lip of one of 3 drainage culverts running beneath the Columbus Avenue. It was found inside the culvert on April 11th by several boys. Ankney, his powerful hands clasped tightly before him, stared at the floor or at the wall behind Bakel, and Seibel spoke. The dead girl's mother, Marie Castanien, sat at the rear of the courtroom, eyes at the floor. County jail, however, he was never been sent. Oh, let's see. Is there something that was down here? Oh, there was more down here. I thought that didn't make sense. When Seibel had finished, Bakel asked, "Is that statement correct?" "Yes, Your Honor," was the reply. Bakel noted that the court record that Ankney does understand the nature of the crime, that the plea is being entered of his own free will, that he has acknowledged the facts as outlined by the prosecutor. Peter H. Ankney, can you give any reason why the court should not pronounce sentence at this time? "No, I can't," Ankney said. Defense attorney Stavey pleaded on his client's behalf. How long have I been on here for? Oh, 1 hour and 28 minutes. The defendant, he said, is a very young man. Okay. Defense attorney Stavely pleaded on his client's behalf for incarceration in the state reformatory rather than the state prison. The defendant, he said, is a very young man with only a theft conviction and an assault allegation on his record. He has spent some time in the Defiance County Jail, however. He has never been sent to a state institution. Said Seibel, the crime notwithstanding, whenever Mr. Ankney has come before this court, he has pleaded guilty. The murder, he said, demands punishment, demands accountability. But I think it's also significant that Mr. Ankney has again appeared before this court and shown the maturity, the dignity, and the responsibility to accept accountability. Bakel, his voice deep and harsh, said Ankney has had a lot of opportunity to think about this crime, and maybe that will be the greatest punishment you will have. I am sure it is something you can never forget. For a moment, the courtroom was silent, probably thinking, oh my God, he's going to let him off lightly. Then the judge continued, I, as a judge, am sorry to see you here, under these circumstances. When you were before me on theft charges, I gave you some consideration, placed you on probation, hoping you would be a contributing member of the community. I felt this was happening. I had some good reports from your probation officer. I never did have a thought that you would take someone's life. So this judge is probably like, shit, man. If I'd done more back then, maybe he wouldn't have done this. I'm sorry that I must do what I am about to do, stated Bakel flatly. Then, with Ankney and his attorney standing, he handed down the sentence. Ankney shook hands with Snavely and Seibel and turned to members of his sobbing family in the courtroom. He embraced and spoke quietly to each, gripped Seibel's hand again, and walked from the courtroom with 2 county sheriff deputies. The defendant was picked up by city police for questioning on April 11, hours after the girl's body was found. At the time, police felt he might know about the murder only when he became emotional, crying, embracing a detective, did stunned officers realize that he might be the murderer. Thanks, loving the sun. I know it's kind of shitty that tonight's the next night after donation night, but you know, that's kind of how it works here. That's how we're able to do what we do, is every night's the same as every other night, except for donation night. And you guys, you kicked ass on donation night. I mean, it was like, boom. Got us up to, you know, I was able to give $6,000 out of the monthly income from YouTube. Thank you, love the sun. The defendant was picked up by city police for questioning on April 11th. Okay, Ankney spoke with police and county adult probation officers David Westrick and Michael Carivial, I guess, that night, and the following day. It was on April 12th that he confessed to the murder. He again confessed the next day. Once appointed to represent the... That's weird that they arrested him so early, because it didn't come out till the 14th. But anyways, what did he get here? It's kind of strange that they handed down the sentence, but then they don't say what it was. I mean, what a crazy... it was just such an anticlimactic sentence there. Yeah, I think he got life, 15, he got the maximum. I think it was, what was it, 15 to life or something. And then 2 months after that. Hey, Cindy, just let me get through the case, okay? Cindy, please? Thank you. All right, let's see. The prosecutor says he did. The defense attorney says he didn't. So this is like, oh, he didn't confess. He confessed. Anyways, he's trying to take back his confession now. All right, and then there was another one right here. I mean, you're crazy, Cindy. What do you mean? Don't you think I've gone through and looked up all this stuff just for you? Possibility of killers. This is from 1989, so now he's been in prison now for 8 years. And as Marie Castanien gazes out her window to the Northwest Ohio community, she remembers a daughter who was murdered nearly 9 years ago. The school teacher still grieves for Jo Marie. Sometimes her anguish turns to rage when she thinks her daughter's killer, Peter Ankney, 28, may be paroled in October. Right. So that was 89, and then in July, oh, this was kind of strange. So this is probate court marriage licenses. So here he is. I think this is him, because he's 28, same year, same county. How many Peter Ankneys are there? And Helen Ann Bernard, 47. So is this one of those, you know, like, hey, I'm going to start dating a guy in prison? I mean, 47 and 28 here. And they get married while he's in prison. Don't you think that's a little weird? See that, Cindy? Look at that, Cindy. See? Wow. What's this one say? Yeah, okay, you're right. You know what? I got sent to jail. I'm in jail now. We can't get to the next part. Texas Annie put me in prison, and Cindy is really the culpable party. Yet I am the one that is in here. Why is that? You ever wonder about that? I'm gonna be in here so long this time. I'm gonna look like that guy right there. Yeah, I'm gonna be in here for a long time. Is that some part of bail there, Frazzled Cat? Hey, look at that. Bama Forever got me out of... well, I got me like a hotel room and a jacuzzi. And
I'll do Chewbacca if you want me to.
And Shogun Love. Hey, look at that. We're almost there, you guys. We're almost there. Just short. You felt like the bones in the prison? Yeah. Well, thank you guys for bailing me out. All right, let me get back to the... And thanks, Cindy, for being so mean. No, Gray, it was you. Did you hear you? Okay, Defiance Man is denied parole in Teens Killing. The Ohio Parole Board has denied parole to a Defiance Man serving 15 years to life for the 1980 slaying of a teenager, a spokeswoman for the Ohio Adult Parole Authority said yesterday. Peter Ankney, 28, will next be eligible for parole in October of 1994. That's so great. 6 years in between. Not some damn every 2 years, you know. I like that. Okay, then, check it out. Check it out. In 1997, he was in this article here. Couldn't believe it. He's still in prison, by the way, so that's good. Here, I think he may have gotten out later because I found articles where he was mentioned in them. And so here he goes. Inmate Peter Ankney works on a 1969 Ford 3400 tractor at the Mansfield Correctional Camp Farm. He has refurbished 4 tractors. You know. So, anyways, let's just see what it says about him here. When Peter Ankney went to prison in 1980, he barely rode on a tractor, much less fix one. Oh, man. Now the Mansfield Correctional Camp inmate restores antiques and just plain old tractors. The skeleton of the 1969 Ford 3400 he's worked on looked almost like a modern found art sculpture under the bright halogen spotlights. 2 fenders hang from clothesline shadows, the primer, the dull red of clay soil. I wonder if it talks about what he did. Ankney, 36, there it is, who's serving a 15-year to life sentence for a murder in Defiance County. Why not say what he did? Okay, you're not saying it because you want people to not hate him so much, you know. It should say, Ankney, 36, who was serving a 15-year sentence for the brutal rape and murder of Marie Castanien after he stabbed her, beat her to death, and then threw her into a culvert, is loving working here at the... Right? That's how it should be, because that's the accurate story. But instead it's, oh yeah, he's serving a 15-year to life sentence for a murder in Defiance County in northwest Ohio. Works on tractors. I mean, what a gloss over that is, right? In the spring and summer, there's too much to do on the prison farm. He worked sheet metal and cleaning jobs inside the institution a dozen years ago. That was boring. He prefers the farm, he said. Farming's better. Long hours, hard work, costumes, the time, he said. Good hard work, and things look nice when you get done. He even speaks with speaks with economy like Maine farmer. Something perhaps to teach to a son, he said. His son is 21, so he actually has a kid. So how did that work? Let me think. This is 1997. He was 19 in 80. So he must have already had a kid. And so I've seen that kid mentioned. I think he's been arrested too for various things. Huh. That's pretty interesting. My nose is getting plugged again. This is ridiculous. Acme has helped repair and refurbish for Malabar. The oldest, a 1949 model, took 300 hours of labor from 3 men. It was down to almost parts. The whole shop was just a tractor laid out from one end to another, Kyle said. He takes a sense of pride. You take a tractor that looks pretty junky and turn it into a showpiece. I mean, that'd be great. That sounds sort of fun, you know, but why the hell are you doing that? Inmate Jesse Ziegler, 51, was Ankney's mentor at Marion Correctional Camp Farm. Ankney was formerly at the Marion facility. He was a fast learner, he said, and I think he was somewhat mechanically inclined. However, I mean, isn't this weird? They're talking about it like it's just, like, who cares that this guy's a freaking monster? Cal said the repairmen were impressed. They asked when he gets to go home, let me know. So maybe when he got out, he got a job. Except when they read about him later and said, oh, it wasn't just like he was at a bar and he was arrested for murder, he got in a fight. It was literally he raped a 15-year-old girl when he was 9. Never mind. We don't want to hire him now. Ankney smiles shyly. You didn't tell me before, he said. His next parole date is 1999. Does anybody know when he got paroled, though? I mean, I saw his name in the paper another time. Here's the find a grave for Joe Marie Castanien. Born to William Jonathan Castanien and Marjorie Edith Slauson Castanien in Mansfield on April 8, 1964. She was the third of 5 children. Okay, good. So they did have other children. They didn't say that, though, in that one article. Carol Lynn Castanien, born November 7, 1961. Barbara Ann Castanien, born March 3rd, 1963. These are the relatives. Joe was murdered on April 7, 1980 by Peter Henry Ankney at 10 p.m. the night before her 16th birthday in Defiance, Ohio. You know, she was pretty old for an 8th grader, you know. 16, because that means you'd be 16. And this was, what day was this? April. Okay, so she was only in 8th grade. So that means it would be all the way to the next year. So she would almost be, I can't remember when you're in grade school, does it start, each year start, I think it's the same thing, right? Like fall, winter, summer break, that kind of thing. So she would have been like 19 when she graduated. Yeah, I mean, she was only in 8th grade and almost 16. You can be 15 and be a freshman, but she was almost 16 and still in 8th grade. So she still would have been 16 as a freshman, so that would have been 16, 17, 18, 19, which is pretty old. You don't see too many 19-year-old seniors. Well, right, Cindy, that's kind of the point of talking about it. Well, Bama Forever, you must have been on the fast track. Actually, yeah, some people graduate at 17, right? Right? Like they graduated at 17. Hey, Cindy, come on. Yeah, I know, you got to keep talking. It's fun. You know, it's good, the banner. I knew a guy that was 19 when he was a senior. Hey, thanks, American lady. Yep, not too much left to go now. Thank you very much. Yeah, we had this guy in our fraternity that was 17 or something. I mean, it was weird, but he did graduate already. So how does that actually work? He isn't even legal for anything. Like, he couldn't even have, you know, like if he had a girlfriend there that he met, he can't, I mean, I don't even know what the hell we were doing, having him there. And guess what? He was in the movie Stand By Me. He was in the movie Stand By Me. It was, he was the dead body in the, that they found down the bank. Yeah. Kent Luttrell is his name. He played that part. Isn't that funny? Yeah. So there you go. Well, thank you, Bama Forever. That was really, I thought it was an interesting story. And I don't know, I feel like whenever I'm done covering these, like I was there, you know? You get to see the pictures, you see the area, you know, the different shots of the ground. I mean, literally, I mean, we can see what her house looked like, too. No, I guess we can't, but maybe right here, if you turn to the left, you know, right down there. I don't think it was that one. No, it is that one. So that house right there was her house. This one right there, that's where she lived. And we already saw Peter's house there. And then here's the spot where those 3 culverts that we saw in that image were. It's probably kind of like that angle, and there's trees that go up there. That's pretty weird. It must be weird for you, Bama Forever, seeing it above like that. Well, hey, American lady, thanks for the attempted encouragement to get to that. Yeah. As soon as I read the story, I was like, oh man, I gotta go look this thing up. Yeah, and there it was. I didn't find a damn thing in newspapers, just 2 articles in newspapers.com and none on this other website, Family History. Then I went to sort of my third option, which was, there was way more articles, by the way. There were articles every single day for, it was a huge story because the newspaper, it was called Defiance Crescent News, which is right in, like right there in Defiant, right? There was actually other periodicals, I think, in that town that were also listed in there. But I have a whole new way of looking up stuff now on that site, so I'm kind of excited about that. No, it was just on that website, it was looking at, well, I'll show you on this one. Here, I'll show you what I did on this one right here. Let me go blow my nose though. Yeah, she told me a story about a drowning thing where this kid drowned in a lake, and her friend were out there trying to find the body, like trying to get him before he died, and they kept diving down, going around the bottom, and they weren't able to find him. Then the rescue got there, and somehow he was a little bit further away than, like maybe crawled along the bottom, she thought. And then for some reason it didn't go so well at home. Yeah, come on, freaks. Let's get that goal. Only 18 something left. In fact, let me see what it really... Actually, only 16. There was like a $3 one that didn't make it up onto the stream goal there. That new footage of that boy possibly... Yeah, I saw that. I'm not really sure what that is. I mean, it looked kind of like there was a fin there, but... Yeah, I saw it on Fox News. Anyways, I'm doing something else. It's not really a criminal... There's nothing to do with that. But yeah, if I had the video and played it slow, it looked like it was a dorsal fin of some sort there. If that's what happened to him, we don't know. You know what I would imagine, though, is that sharks probably follow cruise ships because people just throw crap off of them and they have these meals. You know? Yeah, so here is like, let me see. Yeah, publications. So that in here there's a ton of different ones, but over here if you go search, this is using newspaperarchive.com. Thank you, Renee H. So let me try to remember what I was doing here. Yeah, so I'll just give you an example. Yeah, so here, you know, it didn't know how to figure out that her name, the Joe part. It was weird. So they just have Castanien like that, right? And I think I went like search. That looks different than how it looked earlier. Oh yeah, public. I think it was. Maybe yes, it was. I think it was publications here. That's right. Then over here you go to Ohio. Let me go back. Let me start over again. Publications. It seemed like it was so much easier earlier. There it is. Okay, there. And God, where's that part where it was so much easier earlier? Maybe it was where it said advanced search. Yeah, let me just try it again. Thank you, Jupiter's Tarot and Magic. I should always play the at a hut. No, I'm done with COVID. I just have I have this vent here that puts out pollen in my face. COVID ended a while ago, a couple weeks ago, but yeah, it sucked. Yeah. But thank you, appreciate it. I think I've been clear of COVID for like 3-4 weeks now, maybe a month. Thank you guys. Hey, you made it. Boom. Oh yeah, so maybe this is where it is. All right, right. Okay, so here it is using newspaper archive right here. You know, United States, then you pick Ohio here. Then city, Defiance. Up from there. Defiance right there. And then these publications are over here to the right. It's crazy. So down in here, look at all these newspapers that are in here. And then I think when you click on some of these, I think it was this one, search. And look, there she is a whole bunch of times. The Joe part, it's strange. Like a lot of these articles don't even have the J-O portion. But look how many articles that popped up on that. It was awesome. But if you go over to the publications over here, and I think you can say Ohio. No, that wasn't Ohio. That was the wrong one there. Ohio update. And I think all of these are only from Ohio. Every one of these. And if you look down over to the right, you can see the years of these things. See this? Like 1971 to 2021. And if you go to Defiant, type in, go here, there's Defiant's Daily Crescent News. That only went to 1972. So I spent like an hour and I go, that doesn't exist in here. It was so stupid. But then it showed up in another one. So Defiance Crescent News there, that's 1898 to 2021. That's pretty amazing. Then Defiance Daily Crescent, that ended in 1911. Defiance Express, 1907. And now we see a whole bunch of these here. 1986, so Defiance Daily Express likely would have had some stories on that. And then down here we get 1897, 1895. So you can actually just look over here and say, okay, it can't be in that one, right? And down here, 20, these are all way before. This one, 1890, 1987. So this one, Defiant Marketeer here. So now I bet you if you typed in Marie Castanien, it seems like that would. No, it looks like somebody else. But that's a different type of newspaper too. It looked like a business related one. But hey, that's what I'm going to be doing now. You can just go start browsing the newspapers. Just look at them. Gonna be so mad at me. I did a spirit box session and though gray the whole time, but I think my video came out okay. It's not banned like my other. I don't know what that means. Yeah, please don't do spirit. Don't ever watch any of those videos, everybody. Don't ever watch spirit boxes and all that shit. It's a complete waste of time. I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that, but Wait a minute! Dude, Gilligan, little buddy! Oh! Man. Yeah. There's nothing legitimate whatsoever in EVP or spirit boxes or psychics, any of that stuff, okay? I mean, don't let it offend you. We've already said that on here. Sorry about that, Juniper, but I don't know what you're doing. We've talked about this. I think EVP's like they say, like a visual readout of ghosts or something. Spirit box is an absolute joke. Now, if you're listening to, so here's what spirit box people do, right? They already kind of know about the case, right? So look at, like in this case right here, we just went over. I could pretend that this spirit box that I'm playing is derived. So okay, spirits, tell me about what really happened in the Joe Marie Castanien case. What really happened with Ankney? Oh my God! It was at a hut. Did you hear that? It was at a hut. So it was actually at a hut. Maybe saying it was at a house. Okay, you hear it? It said at a house. At a house. And then. Stupid. Yeah, it was stupid. The ghost even said it was stupid. Ankney. What were you thinking, Ankney? Stupid. Let's see. At a house. Here we go. Stupid. Gilligan, little buddy. Skip. Bat shit. At the very end, he said he was bat shit, everybody. Now, if we take that all together, it was in a house, it was very stupid, and it was bat shit crazy. Can I get a bingo? Boom. Nailed it. Yeah. Now, but if you're doing Spirit Box for like a gimmick or a joke or something, I'm okay with that. As long as you let people know that are watching. Hey, everybody, this is just an absolute ridiculous. This is complete fabrication here. It's just for fun and giggles. This is what I think it says. Bada bing! right? Then, I'm okay with that. But if there's any sort of hint that you're trying to do it as really trying to communicate with beings, how come you disappeared, Juniper's Tarot and Magic? You disappeared, man. You were. Let's see. I hope so. So what those people really do, though, is they look up cases and they sort of think through them a little bit, and then they just claim that they keep playing different spirit box things until they find something that says something that sounds remotely close. Like, for example, you might think, okay, I'm pretty sure that the killer took her down to Swanson Creek. Now, this is what the spirit box says. Oh my God, he said down to Swanson Creek. Hey, down to Swanson Creek, everybody. Do you hear that? Yes, let's do it again. Down to Swanson. Then they put the words on the screen to match the sounds, and people go, oh, wow, I got it. Oh, you thought of me the whole time? Well, that's good. But you get what I'm saying right now? Wow. All right. You guys know what I just said is the absolute truth, too. Yeah, we played a baseball. Oh, wait, he played a baseball. Hey, Spirits, did he play a baseball game last night? Did you hear that? He said he played a... Oh, baseball game, everybody. Boom. Well, let me put the words right underneath it again. You know what? I hear it too, everybody. I hear it too. Come on, that is exactly how it works. Yeah, exactly. That's how it is. Hey, I'm always funny. You're just not here on those other nights too, Tracy. I've done it before. Some people just don't watch every night. That's the sad part. Now let's do this again. Listen again. Anything that you want this to say, you can pick out of this thing. Let's see. Will Biden run for president again? Oh, you hear that? Stupid. Yeah, I think so too. I think it's time to hang it up and let somebody else in your party run. Don't you think? Wait, what is that new part? I hear something new in there. Let me listen. Oh, yeah. He said Trump right after that. Hold on. Listen. Trump! Right after stupid, it says Trump. Listen. Did you guys hear that? It says stupid and then Trump. Listen. Oh my God, it really said it. That's unbelievable. Let's all mark it down. I know it sounds like it, Daryl, because I'm telling you it sounded like that. Nobody had ever heard it before. One more time. Oh my God. That's it. Unbelievable, everybody. It doesn't even matter. You could play this 1,000 times and it'll always solve a case. It's unbelievable. Oh yes. Thank you, everybody, for joining in on our Spirit Box session. Unbelievable. Yeah, right. It was, your house is really haunted. Yeah. Okay. You know what? I tell you what. Last night yesterday they demolished our garage. Okay, not the outside, but the inside, the demo work, tearing out the drywall inside by the way. They found a 1980 newspaper tucked in there with the Oregon State Beavers on the front and the Portland Trail Blazers. Now, I thought that was odd and everything, but later we started hearing creaking noises around the house, and we have determined that the people that were demolishing the garage had unleashed a ghost that was trapped inside the drywall. Isn't that incredible, everybody? And what we're going to do now is turn on a recording device and see if we can hear something. Let's try to tune in right now. Oh my God, there it is. I guess you're right, Daryl. It does kind of sound like that. It does sound like that, but let's listen for other things that it sounds just like. So this is what they do, though. Who's they, Gray? Who's they? Oh wait, right before. It says "Dad" right before "stupid." Do you hear that? Listen. Dad, stupid Trump. Oh my God, Dad, stupid Trump. What does that mean? I have no idea, but did you hear it? Dad, stupid Trump. Yeah, you guys, Barrett, man, that guy's like he's 7 feet tall now, man. It's ridiculous. Barrett is like 6'7". He is a giant. And I think he's still growing. His feet are like flippers. He's growing into his feet. Yeah, Barron. Right. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it's saying in there. It does say that, you guys. Listen. And I'm not assigning anything. I'm just saying those are the words. At a house. Bud. Okay. Dad, stupid Trump, Bud. Listen to that one more time. Yeah, okay. Dad, stupid Trump, boop. Alright, let's do it again. Dad, stupid Trump, boop. That stupid Trump. Boop. Go. Anyways. Oh, yeah. Okay. Anybody can hear whatever they want to hear. Pick a word and you'll find it in there. It's awesome. That's how it works, man. That's how it works. Anyways, that was just a little side break there. What do we have? 2 hours and 8 minutes? Where was the... But we're definitely going to start doing more EVP readings. Spirit box sessions, they call them. I think they're very important in helping solve crimes. They really dig into the case. Yeah, they give you information that couldn't ordinarily be gleaned from a solid newspaper article or a law enforcement official. And I'm never going to be doing that. I'm joking. Okay. Jessica Shoebox, mind is blown. Yes, that's called sarcasm. All right. Listen, you get the spirit box out there, they'll give you stuff that the detectives don't even have. The killer doesn't even know it half the time. It's incredible. The killer himself doesn't even know the stuff that the spirit box knows. So a lot of times you got these killers running over to the next spirit box session and asking them what happened because they don't know. Yeah. Yeah, what's weird is these other stories that I got they're pretty big too, though. Like, let me show you what I have on the screen over here. Blue's over there. He was laughing earlier too. See, look at all these. This is a crazy case right here. But I'm just trying to figure out what day to do that, because it literally, when I do these ones like this, the chat dies down, and hell, Danielle even said, "Oh, it's just so soothing to listen to. I usually end up falling asleep at the end." And I go, yeah. My shows put people to sleep when I'm reading. That's awesome for reaching the goal, don't you think? I mean, you're trying to get to the goal, and people are out cold. And then I have to end up pressing the wake up truck horn sound just to wake people up. But then they're so pissed off that they wouldn't want to help the goal if it was to save baby Jessica. Anyways, this one's really interesting though. Very, very strange. This one though is shorter. It was sort of, they thought it might be related at one point. We could try to zip through this one. Let's see if we can do it. This one's Ferrell and Mared Malarik. Want to give it a shot? Although we're already at the goal, right? I mean, no, don't what? Don't do that one? Okay, here we go. I'm going to do this one. Let me see if these are long or not. Hey, thanks 15 Lee. Oh, you're talking about doing the spirit box. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Oh, the horn. Okay. Well, hey, that, when you say don't do it, what's the next thing somebody does? Childishly does it. Mary Lou would do it. Yeah. All right, so here we go. We're going to start off here. This is back in, the hell was it? Yeah, Virginia, actually. West Virginia. Usually West Virginia doesn't have much, but this is earlier, I think. And now, shit, I almost feel like I got to go start trying to use that other site more using that. I mean, newspaper.com also has the same way to look things up, but I didn't think that site had it like that. They have other sort of lesser known places. Thank you, brown-eyed girl. With my plug nose. Alright, here we go. Missing, possibly abducted, as they were hitchhiking to their dormitories late Sunday at Morgantown are West Virginia University co-eds Ferrell, 19, of Quinwood, VA, and Mared Malarik. Federal authorities have been notified the girls were last seen getting into a car after viewing a downtown movie. They were hitchhiking to Westchester Hall, a private dormitory between the main campus and Evansdale. I think I have these in here. Let me see. No, didn't. Okay. I'm going to have to load that in there. Usually I build something out in here if I'm going to do a show on it. But so this is back in 1970, and let's just get into that area really quick. So that was the Westchester Hall. Probably still called that. Westchester Hall. Citing their dormitories late Sunday, Morgantown are... let's just go to Morgantown. Oh. Okay. these are all the different halls. So this is probably where they went to school right here. I wonder, anybody want to try to look that up and see if Westchester Hall changed its name? I bet you could do that. Let's see. Westchester Hall, West Virginia changes name. Actually, let me just type in Westchester. That's not what it was called. Yeah, it is. Westchester Hall. I don't know. Hey, you missed all the fun, Zozo. We were just had some laughs for about 30 minutes. You might want to rewind it. But this is now we're on to another case. Yeah. So this is a case of Karen Ferrell and Mared Malarik. Right there. So they're hitchhiking to Westchester Hall, a private dormitory between the main campus and the Evansdale campus. Oh. Oh, okay. So where's that? Okay, there's Evansdale over here. Okay, so it's probably just an apartment or something now, I would imagine. And then... yeah, and then the other campus was right over here. Thanks, Jessica Schubach. Okay, that just sort of got the basic there. Now we're going to move to the next article. 100 girls. A positive identification of 2 West Virginia University co-eds missing since Sunday was reported in Ripley, where the 2 were said to be last seen climbing into a truck, police reported late Tuesday. Police here said the report came from Ripley Chief of Police Harold Whitehouse, who showed photographs to a man at a truck stop who in return identified the girls. Police said the man at the J&J truck stop told them that the girls climbed into a truck at about 6 p.m. Monday. The driver, identified by officers, reported the girls said they were headed to Ashland, Kentucky. The driver let the girls off in Charleston, police said. Whitehouse told the Associated Press from the Ripley's home that he carried the girls' photographs to the man at the truck stop who made a positive identification. Yeah, I don't even know if that's real or... again, you get these people that, oh yeah, I saw somebody. And there it is. Have been object of a widespread search. Miss Malarik, 5'6", with dark hair, with streaked with blonde, and Miss Ferrell, 5 feet and long, light blonde hair, had spent the evening at the movies and were going towards the dormitory about midway between the university's 2 campuses. Yeah. Okay. Hunt for co-eds fails to produce new leads. City police here report no new leads in their search for 2 missing West Virginia University students. So that's where they went to school. West Virginia University. Okay, so there's West Virginia University, but there's also halls over here. So, not really sure how they divvy this place up, to be honest with you. The girls, Mared Malarik and Karen Ferrell, have been missing since January 18th. They were reportedly seen January 19th at a Ripley truck stop where they supposedly told a waitress they were going to Ashland. Palmer said he has a letter from the Ashland police chief in which that officer said a waitress in the Ashland restaurant reported serving 2 girls between 4 and 5 p.m. January 19th, but she couldn't make positive identification. In another missing persons case, police are looking for 17-year-old Thomas S. Coombs. Not related. Alright. And these are back in 1970. First one was January 20th. Now we're on to February 5th. Now, semester grades were not a factor in the disappearance of one of the 2 West Virginia University co-eds missing since January 18th. The mother of Karen Ferrell said, Mrs. Robert Ferrell said, my daughter had an A and B and 3 C's last semester. She was a good student. Well, it's pretty good. It's not awesome. But Miss Ferrell and Mared Malarik of Kinnelon, New Jersey, have been unaccounted for since they failed to return to their dorms. All right. Then in April, let's see. It's been 11 weeks since 2 co-eds disappeared from West Virginia University, and the mother of one of the girls is fearful her daughter may be dead. Police are speculating that Karen Ferrell, 18, of Quinwood, and Mared Malarik, also 18, of Kinnelon, New Jersey, ran away from the Morgantown campus. The 2 girls disappeared January 19th, and despite a 13-state search by law enforcement officials, no firm leads to their whereabouts have been found. Mrs. Richard Ferrell believes her daughter has been the victim of foul play because Karen was not the kind of girl just to leave. See, that's what police should be listening to. The parents and people that know, hey, this is what they do. She said a letter from Karen received at the Ferrell home one day before the disappearance is the most convincing. Police said the 2 girls were seen getting into a car in front of a Morgantown theater that night, apparently hitchhiking their way back to their dormitory. They never reached Westchester Hall. Yeah, she's always a good sport, that tarot and magic. I mean, she's here, right? But here's what I think she does here. She comes here, she goes, man, Gray is going to be the person who's going to come up with probably the most logical and accurate version of what happens in a lot of these cases out there. So then what you do is you come up and you play the spirit box, and magically the words that come out are exactly what we've been saying over here. It's incredible. Gray, you're a narcissist. Nope, just telling you the way it is. It's true, man. Oh man, I got to tell you, I would be the best spirit box reader in the history of spirit box. I would be famous because I would do all the research and stuff on the side, and then pretend that I gleaned it all from these spirits. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So hell, if I was a spirit box channel, I'd be listening to my show every single day. You'd probably be the one, did you hear that, man, on that channel? She said it was gonna, this is how it was gonna be, and ooh. Yeah. I believe the man in the car kept on, okay, police said the 2 girls were seen getting into a car in front of the Morgantown Theater. Is it still there? Oh, I was wondering. That makes sense because the other campus stuff was over here. It does say Morgantown Theater Company. So I'm gonna have to say that's probably it. Let's see what it looked like down there. Oh yeah, that looks old. So they got out of that building and got into a car with somebody. I believe the man in the car kept on going with them. Let's see. Apparently hitchhiking their way back to the dormitory. They never reached Westchester Hall. I believe the man in the car kept on going with them. If they're alive, he knows where they are. She went up to Morgantown Wednesday to gather up her daughter's personal belongings. All of Karen's things were at Westchester Hall just as she left them that night. She couldn't have had more than $10 to $12 on her. She had a letter to her boyfriend ready to mail. That's right. The letter written by Karen to the Ferrells just before her disappearance indicates she was fairly happy at school. I really like my history course. For one thing, I naturally like AM, American history, I guess. The best, and the instructor is really good. In fact, all of my teachers are really good, the letter said. The letter closed, well, that's it for tonight. Write soon, send my toothpaste, and look for my orange scarf. Ms. Ferrells contends that every law enforcement agency except state police has mishandled the investigation of the disappearance, and she wants the FBI to assist. It's been about 6 weeks now, and there hasn't been a thing done about this. Pocketbook of missing co-ed found. Arch A. Moore, Jr., Monday, told 5 West Virginia University students that the strongest lead to the whereabouts of 2 missing West Virginia University co-eds was a pocketbook belonging to one of the girls. The 2 girls, Mared Malarik, Kinnelon, New Jersey, and Karen Ferrell of Quinwood, West Virginia, have been missing since the night of January 18th. Moore said the pocketbook was found by Morgantown police along US 19 near the Taylor County line. All right, let's get this dialed in here. Where's US 19? Is that it right there? Okay. So does it continue around like this, or? That says 119. I don't know. Huh. It's weird. Near the Taylor County line. So if I type in up here, I have all the counties in here. So if I go let me see. I bet you that's it right there. Although it says 79 on it. But that's the same one that goes into town over here. In Taylor County. There it is. Oh, that's right. So it goes W.V. Taylor. There it is. Alright. Oh, so it's way down here. So I bet you this 79, this 119 I think is it. So her pocketbook was found right down here. It says 119, but that's the same number. If you follow that all the way up, it was. Let me see what happens if I say US 19 West Virginia. Yeah, so it has it right back up here again, but look where it is. It's definitely not this street, so that means it's this one. And that road, if you back it out and keeps coming down like this, goes all the way down, just like we're saying, and then ends up going into, and it's the only main highway. Notice all the rest of them are really small little roads here. So they're saying that Moore said the pocketbook was found. The two girls, Mared Malarik, New Jersey, Karen Ferrell, Quinwood, West Virginia, have been missing. Moore said the pocketbook was found by Morgantown police along US 19 near Taylor County line. He said the area was searched once by Morgantown police and twice by state police, including a helicopter search this weekend. So somewhere around in this area was a pocketbook. It's the only road that makes any sense either. So we'll just say it was found somewhere around here. Yeah. Pocketbook. So that means this killer, you know, whatever it is, the abductor came all the way down like this with them, or left and was starting to throw stuff out that these people owned. He said the area was searched. Okay, the five students presented the governor with a petition bearing some 734 signatures, asking the FBI to conduct a full-fledged search. All right, kind of zipping through these. Doctor says eyeglasses, those of a co-ed. Now they're finding more items, like Hansel and Gretel. Governor Moore said today that eyeglasses found in a search for two missing West Virginia University co-eds have been positively identified as belonging to one of them. He said state police checked the glasses with the doctor who prescribed them, and there is no doubt that they belong to Mared Malarik of Kinnelon, New Jersey, who disappeared January 18th with Karen Ferrell of Quinwood. Moore said the glasses were found in a Monday's search on the Grafton Road, US 119. So that's where we're at. I think it might have meant 119. Okay. You know that last article? I bet you they meant one. I don't know, but there was a US 19, but now we're on US 19. Search on the Grafton Road. Wow. So let's see. Grafton Road. Oh shit. So it's a little bit up here. Huh? Wow. Also in this area, is there an actual? That is Grafton Road. So Grafton Road is US 19. So we don't know exactly where that was found then. About 2 miles. Okay, 2 miles from where an earlier search turned up a pocketbook. All right, so let's just say somewhere around in here, eyeglasses are found because this is still Grafton Road. Eyeglasses. Moore said the glasses were found in a Monday search on the Grafton Road, about 2 miles from where an earlier search turned up a pocketbook that belonged to one of the girls. The two 19-year-old co-eds were last seen January 18th hitchhiking back to their dormitory. So the person was actually heading towards their dormitory and kept on driving. Ew. Some 100 National Guardsmen will join state police today in a continuance of the intensive search. Second co-ed's purse found. The second purse found in the search for two. I mean, it's amazing they're finding all this stuff. West Virginia University co-eds has positively been identified as belonging to Karen Ferrell. The search for further clues will continue today with participation by more than 100 National Guardsmen. The purse identified as Miss Ferrell is a shoulder-strap handbag. Close friends of the 19-year-old Quinwood Greenbrier County girl said the brown suede purse was like one Miss Ferrell had, and the governor's office confirmed that the identification was positive. An aide to Governor Arch A. Moore Jr. said the bag was uncovered in a ditch line off of, again, US 119 on the opposite side of the road, and about 4/10 of a mile from the spot the 13-year-old boy March 1st found a purse of Miss... Oh, wow, so maybe they dumped it on the way back? That's crazy. So over here, there's a pocketbook here, and then just a little bit of ways, you know, I'm just throwing... I'm not going to be absolutely precise there, but... So let's see. So this is Ferrell's purse. And so that means the other one is Malarik. Just by logic. How do you know, Gray? Maybe there was a third person that you weren't. Malarik. I hate when Gray... You know you hate when Gray does? People always say that. I hate when you make that little whiny voice. I know, because you sound like that. That's why you hate it so much. Hey, Cindy, do you mind if I just keep going through this? You know? Thank you. What are you talking about up there, Cindy? About 1979 and stuff like that. Okay, I'm just going through what I'm going through, okay? Just let the information develop on the screen, okay? My God, it's wild. No, it wasn't. It was 1970, as I said earlier. So when you say the newspaper says 1979, I don't know what you're talking about. That's right up here, 1970 at the top of the screen. Said the brown suede purse. Okay, and then let's see. We are running down these leads. We are leaving nothing uncovered. We are getting... Okay, so I think that's all we needed out of that article there. And over here... So here's the thing. Now we're in April 17th. And look at this. Searchers, they found the decapitated bodies of West Virginia University co-eds Mared Malarik and Karen Ferrell yesterday in a wooded area 0.6 miles off Old Weirton Mine Road. So let's see where that is around here. Oops. Oh, that's it. I found it anyways, even with my bad spelling. Weird, huh? So that's Weirton Mine Road. Where does this lead, everybody? I bet it comes out close to... Look at this shit right here, you guys. The eyeglasses. So these are probably a little bit further up, I would imagine. I would imagine that, you know, if I was going to go like this and, you know, probably move that over here and... Take this one, put it over here. Now we're close to kind of like where they turn. I mean, it's still close to the county line, right? If you know, if you go way up here, who knows? But either way, these items were found here, and here's Weirton Mine Road. And how far does it? Yeah, Weirton Mine Road. Weirton Mine Road, and then that's it. So I don't think it continues. That's something else. And where does it stop? So that's it from right here. That's crazy. This is Weirton Mine Road. Ding, 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 ding. All the way up here like this. Who are you talking to? What? Hey Cindy, are you on something tonight? Yeah, where is my quote for that one? I think it's on the... I thought I had it on this one too. Are you angry with me?
Oh my god, awkward.
Yeah, here you go.
Are you angry at me?
There you go.
Are you angry at me?
Mr. Hughes?
Are you angry at me?
Mr. Hughes?
Are you angry at me?
Cindy?
Are you angry at me?
Yeah. So there they are, getting the bodies out of there. They're in the dormitory, stunned. These are the two women right here. Karen Ferrell and Mared Malarik right there. Beheaded bodies. I mean, my God, could you start off more gruesome than that? The headless bodies of two missing West Virginia University co-eds were uncovered in a crudely constructed tomb of stones and limbs 6 miles south of Morgantown yesterday, marking a tragic end to the 88-day disappearance case. Both bodies had been decapitated, and no heads were found within the tombs. So whoever did this, could they be another Ed Kemper type? I mean, this is crazy. Both bodies had been decapitated, no heads were found within the tombs. Identified by their clothing as missing co-eds yesterday afternoon, the bodies were found at 11:30 a.m. by Steve Slavinsky, a National Guardsman participating in the massive search of the area. Officials were mum about present leads on who committed the bizarre murders, nor did they indicate what direction the investigation will take now. Let's see. Moore said police are pursuing all aspects of the case. Authorities had little doubt that the bodies discovered were those of the co-eds. State police fingerprint experts were reported to be examining the bodies. One of the bodies was clad in blue bell-bottom slacks, and the other had on brown striped culottes, whatever the hell that is. One body was wearing a brown sweater, and the other was clad in a coat described as a fake fur. The two co-eds, Mared Malarik, 19, and of Kinnelon, New Jersey, and Karen Ferrell, 19, of Quinwood, had disappeared from WVU campus January 18th after being picked up by a driver while hitchhiking on Wiley Street. Do we have that right then? Let's see. Is this Wiley Street? Yeah, God, there is no Wiley Street. Oh wait, there is one right there. Not in the right town or anything. So I don't know if there's one in there. The only identification of the driver, who was reported alone in the car, is that he was a young white male. His car was light colored. State police spokesman said that there was no special reason for their searching the particular area. Well, it's because you found the purses and stuff right out there. Just part of the search pattern, right. But you're in the correct location based on where you found 3 different items. Comprehensive searches began Tuesday with the arrival of some 100 National Guard troops to aid state police in their search, which started late last week. The discovery of Miss Malarik's purse on March 1st along Route 119, approximately 10 miles from the location of the tomb, apparently led to the more active search beginning in April. Authorities worked 4 hours in removing the remains. Police said they wanted step-by-step pictures of the operation. The heads were off before the graves were built, Bowers said. So that means the bodies were placed, but the person kept their heads. Oh, Jesus. The coroner said the head was completely off the girl, who was clad in blue bell-bottom slacks, but there was more neck showing on the other body. Jesus. Bowers said the other body, apparently Miss Ferrell, was unclothed from the waist down, and that the pelvic area was badly decomposed. The pelvic bone was almost bare, no flesh. Captain Bowley, however, claimed that both bodies were fully clothed. When asked about Bowers' statement, Bowley replied, "I saw clothes." Okay, well, that means you're trying to not put that out in the public. And then 6 years later, kind of disappeared. Report case of slain co-ed solved. There you go. So, West Virginia authorities say they have solved a 6-year double murder mystery involving 2 college co-eds, including one from Kinnelon, and are holding a suspect, a convicted sex offender who had confessed to the decapitation slaying. Moore said the suspect, a 36-year-old white man, is aiding West Virginia State Police in a search for the heads, which began last Wednesday. The search had revealed human hairs had been sent to the lab for analysis. The governor said the search is centered in a rural area in the adjacent state. Moore said the state is not being identified to prevent harassment of the owner of the property where the heads are believed to be buried. Identity of the suspect was also withheld. The governor said the suspect also is charged with rape in another state. Moore declined to be more specific, saying disclosure of details would hinder the investigation. Let's see. The 2 19-year-old West Virginia University co-eds, Mared Malarik and Kinnelon and Karen Ferrell of Quinwood of West Virginia, were last seen alive on January 18th when they got the ride hitchhiking. Isn't that crazy? Like, these 2 girls are just a normal day. Hitchhiking was normal back then. They're just coming home from a movie. And, I mean, what a horrific... I mean, it's a little bit like Delphi, really. West Virginia police sure search will yield slain co-ed skulls. Authorities are confident they will find the skulls of 2 West Virginia University co-eds who 6 years ago were raped, murdered, and decapitated. The search yesterday centered on an abandoned mine shafts near the Pennsylvania-West Virginia border. The suspect, who confessed to the crimes, pointed out the alleged burial site to investigators who brought him from the Camden County, New Jersey jail, where he awaits trial on rape charges. The victims were Mared Malarik and Karen Ferrell. Solomon said investigators have discovered some human hairs in animal nests near the site. Oh man, so maybe coyotes took the skulls. Clausen reportedly told authorities he dropped the decapitated heads down the crevice of a mine shaft. A lot of old mine shafts honeycomb the area, Solomon said. It's not easy getting men down there. But why did he do that? You know? Yeah, I don't think people really want to know the answer to that. There was no reason to cut their heads off. Any normal reason. So this is 1976. The heads were placed in a deep rock crevice on a farm near Point Marion, but an extensive search for the skulls has turned up only pieces of human hair. Hey, Caligal 3. And Regina Carter and come on, Cindy, you're my nemesis. Come on, let's go. Yeah, this is a crazy story. So this is 1987 now. Killer taken to state prison to begin term. Eugene Paul Clausen, convicted of the 1970 rape and decapitation murder of 2 West Virginia University students, was returned to West Virginia yesterday to begin serving a life sentence, prison officials said. Clausen, 45, of Point Marion, Pennsylvania, had been serving a 15-year sentence at the Adult Diagnostic and Treatment Center. So he got some mental stuff too. Clausen was convicted in 1981 of murdering the 2 young college women. It was the second time he was convicted in the case. The state Supreme Court in 1980 overturned Clausen's 1976 conviction in Monongalia County, or something like that, and ordered a new trial. The second trial was held in Randolph County. Clausen was sentenced to life with mercy and could be eligible for parole in 10 years. He was convicted of the decapitation death of Karen Ferrell, 19, of Quinwood, and Mared Malarik, also 19, of Kinnelon, New Jersey. They were last seen hitchhiking in downtown Morgantown on January 18, 1970. Their headless bodies were found in April of that year. And then, look at this guy. These guys are 52 years after West Virginia co-eds found decapitated. Investigators hope high-tech X-ray machine help will locate final evidence. Leaving no stone unturned. A 52-year-old once a former crime scene isn't easy. Not when investigators have to do their digging mainly by hand, so as not to disturb any evidence. Armed with garden trowels and toothbrushes, West Virginia State Police forensic investigators and others have been doing just that in earnest for the past several weeks at a wooded rural expanse near Morgantown. It's a location that has chilled and captivated generations of University City residents. It's the place where decapitated bodies of Karen Ferrell and Mared Malarik were found in 1970. The West Virginia University freshmen and friends were spied getting into a cream-colored sedan on a cold night in Morgantown 4 months before. They were hitchhiking a ride back to their dorm after a movie. A side note to the account is just as poignant as it is grisly. The heads of the victims have yet to be located after all these years. That's why the meticulous archaeological style work started in the middle of May. Albert Rod Everly, a retired contractor and vocational teacher, was in the National Guard unit that discovered the bodies on that April afternoon 52 years ago. A recent book and podcast about the murders reawakened his interest. A series of anonymous letters purported to have been written by the perpetrator of the crime. Oh wow, I'm gonna check that out. Specifically, he gridded out the site in accordance with author's directives, and in the middle of May, 6 cadaver dogs, yelping and with their tails wagging furiously, went to the 2 areas where the writer said the final evidence could be found. What's the name of the podcast? No, let's see. The Co-ed Murders. Look at that. I'm gonna have to check that out. I'd love to see the letter, or hear what the letters said that were written to the. Yeah, that's awesome. Looks like a pretty good one. Should I put that in the description if anybody's interested in that? Let me edit that. What's going on? What screen is this one? Oh, that's that was way earlier in the evening. I'm not even sure. Oh yeah, that's right. I used that to donate the 5 memberships. Here, I'll put the word podcast and then Co-ed Murders right below it. All right, there you go. It's in there. Yeah. So they're really just trying to find the heads for the family. And here's another podcast. The disappearance of West Virginia co-ed murders. So I think that's a different one, isn't it? The co-ed murders, the tragic victims of baffling mystery. Huh. Yeah, well, that's a weird one. You gotta admit, like, just think how ridiculous that is. It is. It's very similar, sort of like to Abby and Libby, right? Like, they're just kind of two people doing their own thing. Nobody's, and then some monster shows up, kills them viciously. In their case, they ended up a little bit worse, I guess you could say, with heads taken off. But, they're all dead nevertheless. So that's it, you guys. That's it for the show. Let's see. Go over what Delphi podcast? What are you talking about? What do you mean, Zozo, up there, where you say, great, can you go over the Delphi podcast someday? You mean the scene of the crime one that we did? Me, Morph, and... Man, her name just popped right out of my head. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, I guess we could play it, and... I think would be more interesting is the thing that me and Morph would record for the people that were members, because I think he was talking about, like, he often thought, man, it's like social media or something, like catfishing, but it would be kind of cool to go back over it. I guess I could do that on the show, right? Maybe we go over the original podcast, listen to it, and talk to people in the chat, answer questions, merge it into the newer information and see what's going on. I guess it's not a bad idea. Because there's a lot of people out there that still have no clue. They're just new. They didn't really hear about it. So, all right. I gotta run the credits at the end. But I gave away 5 memberships as the prize. We didn't actually make it again to where I would give out notebooks. We're $29 short of that. But, I gave out some memberships. On all of your behalves. How about that? There we go. Oh, cool. All right. I was just reading Bama Forever's email there. Let's see. Yeah, all right. Go over to the... How come the bunny's not making any sound? Oh, there it is. All right. Generous freaks. Nikki Zubz. Bama Forever. Danielle. K-Me. Kim Wallace. Mike S. Cindy J, Ali Kid, Sarah Beth Colagrass, Traveling Teresa, SV Kathy, Daryl Montgomery, from Canada, Eugenie, American Lady, Circa Then, Cindy Leon, Texas Annie, Love the Sun 100, Ashy Snow, Frazzled Cat, Shogun Love, Renee H, and hold on. Yeah, where'd it go? I lost it. Oh, Juniper, Tarot, and Magic, Brown Eyed Girl 714, Jessica Schubach, and subscriptions are Chase Messer, Miles, and these are some people that use that for notes too, you know, like the message. Miles, something Mazalik, Ashley King. Those are people who subscribed. And Kim Wallace, Salty, Non-Such, Kate, Tim Howell, Serenity by Jan, and Liz Marie. There you go. Awesome. So the other ones were people who subscribed tonight. There you go. Nikki Zubs. I gotta read Zozo's comment. It said, "My daughter just asked me if I was driving and an old guy and a baby came out in front of me, what would I do? What would I hit? I said the old guy. Apparently the answer was the brakes." One of the worst jokes I've ever heard. All right. Wow. Okay, everybody. Well, thank you very much for being here and supporting the channel. Reaching the goal. It's pretty cool. All right. And we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Bama Forever, thank you so much for the sharing that story and turning it into an interesting case to go over. And what we found out was, man, that guy's having a hell of a time remodeling cars, and they completely leave out of the story what a brutal maniac the guy was. Yep. So again, thank you all for being here tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow. Well, actually, we're going to do, I think, there's one more day, and then DeMarte. Maybe I'll try to figure out how to add DeMarte in. I don't know. We got to get her on the stand, though. But tomorrow there's another day of the defense witnesses, and then they rest, and then the state does their rebuttal, I guess, and then DeMarte comes on, and she's the psychological expert for the state. All right, so thank you guys very much. We'll see you tomorrow, and as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, flag rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gragel's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pecker. With all respect, just remember I've a type of fucking check. I have no agenda, I'm a pretender, and I'll send it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work.
Good night, everybody. Gee, you too, Cindy.
Yeah, Cindy got me thrown in prison tonight. I mean, that was... No, Gray, you did it yourself.
That's what I was gonna say, Gray. You did it yourself.
But you didn't say it, I said it.
I know, I was just repeating what you said.
I know, but that happens to me all the time.
No, Gray, they're just on rewind.
What do you mean they're just on rewind?
Well, they're behind you, like 10 or 15 seconds. So you think that they're repeating what you said, but they actually said it before you did, because it shows up right before I...
Oh my God, would you just... Okay, anyways, we will... we'll see you tomorrow, right? Thanks for being here, and Be safe out there.